Want to lower your plastic model car? Let's talk about it. Welcome everyone to Matt's Models and More. We are going to talk about getting aggressive with your stance. Last video, that's one of my biggest things that I look for in a model, or when I'm building one, I should say, or even looking at somebody else's work. I always look at the stance and the wheels. So to go off of that, I wanted to kind of make a video on how I do it. I know it's different for everyone, and it's also different for every model. For instance, this one has leaf springs, axles, and shocks, uh, such as this 62 Buick Electra. Um, this thing actually has a built-in axle, which I hate, which I will probably end up drilling a lot of that out. It does give you options to lower there, but that's still not low enough. When you put that um, rod through there, it still does not sit where I want it to sit. So um, that's something different there. And then of course, out of our Revell 68 Dodge Charger, here is a normal leaf spring. And just to show you a comparison, this is what I've done to this Plymouth Belvedere to make it sit where I wanted it to sit. The leaf springs have been completely flattened. Yeah, I know. I mean, that's not the way you would really do it, but I'm not driving this car, and it's not going in a show. This is something I enjoy, something I want to look at, and something that's going to sit on the shelf for years and get passed down to my son. So um, yeah, I do some major mods, but look at the difference in that leaf spring compared to this leaf spring. So huge difference. So what I do is I heat them up and just slowly bend them until I get them completely flat. Once I get them flat, I'm actually jumping way ahead. I really pick my design out first and the wheels, and then start going from there. And I'll put it all together and make sure it's going to sit right. So once I do that and I've got it right where I want, then I start playing with where I want this to be. So that's when I start flattening that. I'll actually cut the shocks at the bottom part, just so it still looks like a full shock. It's just shortened at the base where it would go into the strut tower if it was on the front, or on the back into the frame assembly. And then I also shorten the axle, and you have to be careful with that because some of them are off center. This one was. It was longer on this side than on this side. So I actually have to set this in the middle of my where the drive shaft's going to go, and then I make a mark where I want it to end. That way, when I put that wheel on there, it is sitting right exactly where I want it to be, which is literally almost touching the well there. Um, so that's just the way I do it. Now on the front, it's a little bit different, and of course it's going to be different for every car. Just like this Electra, this is a Buick Electra, so you got two options there. That's going to take some major modification. Well, not really. I mean, you could just drill another hole a little bit closer to the fender well on both sides, and then run that rod through. That would actually be easier on that one. On this, I have to do a whole bunch of things. I was talking to my good friend on from Facebook, Jamie. He does a lot of NASCAR builds, and he does those, of course, stock box. Um, so he's just getting into getting an aggressive stance. So I recorded a quick video and sent it to him, and I was showing him this one on the front. In order to lower it, here is your normal spindle that would come out the box. In order to get this thing sitting where I wanted to, I don't even know if you can see this on camera, but I had to cut that spindle down to nothing. I mean, it's there's really nothing there other than where it would go into the hole to hold the hub, you would say spindle or knuckle. Um, it's just enough to set the wheel exactly where I'm going to want it in order for this thing to sit just right. And if you look at the thumbnail at the beginning of this video, it actually shows the way this car is going to sit once I'm done. This is the 64 Belvedere, and I've had to go through a couple of changes with the wheels because originally my first video I was actually showing you a wheel that I got from Texas 3D, and this was the wheel. It was a 24 with the rubber resin, which is outstanding. I hope more 3D printing companies start to do that because that really makes a huge difference. But I really thought the body of this car was a lot bigger than what it was. So when I put the wheels on there, they were just too big for me. I mean, just I don't know what it was. Maybe the renderings I did. As y'all know, I'm a big believer in AI, and I use Chat GPT to get my designs before I start building. Um, and the picture that I had, which is on that thumbnail, um, was 24s in the back and 22s in the front. So I guess that didn't go to scale because when I put that on there, that's just too big. I mean, you can see the difference between that and that. So these are 20s. So that I'll use that for another project. But just to give a comparison, this is what blows me away and why I love doing what we do, because here's a factory tire. Now, of course, if I didn't chop the axle, that's about where it would be sitting. And man, that just looks, I, it just doesn't turn me on. It doesn't get me shivering. This gets me shivering. That's a turn on right there. So I don't know if you can see the difference like I see it. Some people don't care. Some people like the factory look. They'd rather keep that. Um, I just can't do it. I can't even use that as a spare. I wouldn't even use that as a spare if I was building. Now I am putting a fuel cell in this one. I did open the trunk, so I've got some work to do back here. I'm going to actually do some fabricating in there. That's why I got those marked. Um, but yeah, as far as lowering it, it's different for every model. So it really is just taking some creativity. Don't be afraid to get aggressive. That's why I named that video that. It's not just about aggressive stance, but it's about being aggressive on your builds. It's a plastic model. You can't hurt it. It's all about being artistic and doing what you like, and there really should be no ill feelings. I've had some comments about, lowering is not my thing. You shouldn't mess with the suspension. It should stay stock. Um, I disagree. This is an art form, and with an art form, I look at this truly as a sculpture. I'm putting together a sculpture that makes me happy. And when I look at it, it makes me happy. And that's what I want. I want to look at it and go, wow, I did that. I didn't build it right out the box. I built it the way that Matt wanted it to build. So, yeah, it just takes some chopping up. Like I said in my first video, we're going to chop these things and hack them, and it doesn't hurt anything, guys. Get fun, get creative. Now, if I was going to make this a pro stock or pro street, which you're going to see on this channel, I'm going to do some of those. Um, some people will actually section this and get a 3D printed tub where it's tubbed out already. That does make it easy because, I mean, you could literally chop this thing right there and glue on the tub assembly as long as it fits the rear deck of, whatever you're building. But I actually like to get a little more creative than that. I would delete all this. I would actually cut into that and use some styrene, some evergreen styrene, and actually build my tub just so I can say, I built that. Now I know we buy 3D engines. This is an engine from Texas 3D as well. It's the Hemi with the Weber carbs. I've done a lot of detail work to it. Man, this color, check out the next video because I'm going to probably talking to everyone about a big mistake using the kind of paint I used for this, and how it turned out, and what I had to do, and why I don't like it. I mean, the wheels were actually going to be that same color, and I had to completely abandon everything and restart. But that's going off on another subject. Just check out that next video because it's going to be real informative. Um, but yeah, so again, have fun with it. You can't hurt anything. It's hard to talk about lowering for every single vehicle out there because it seems like now the last 3 in a row I've done have all been different. I just got done doing a 29 Ford Roadster, and gosh, the suspension on that thing is, I didn't even want to. I did the low boy version of it, which I'll show you a picture right here. Still wasn't low enough, so I had to do some modifications to that suspension as well to get it as low as possible. So, yeah, I mean, have fun, guys. This is not a super tutorial type video. I'm not trying to go into depth because it's really simple. It's about cutting, fitting, heating up to make those leaf springs completely flat so the wheel sits exactly where I want, making sure the axle matches up with that and the shocks still go where they need to, because of course they were too long. I had to actually chop those and make those fit in there. And I'm about to start doing this, the spindles. I'm about to start doing that and making sure, I already know that this one is where I need to be, so that's the one I'll use. But that's it on this video. This is a quick one, just because I can't do every single type of model out there to lower. It's just all about experimenting and not being afraid of that. Get aggressive. That's what we're talking about. So once again, it's all about having fun. I don't want to. It's not a major tutorial again. I'm a model maker. I'm no professional by any means. I want to be. I see some builds out there that just astound me. I mean, it's amazing the detail that you can get into. But I haven't been doing it very long. I am an artist by heart, and I am a professional woodworker. That's actually what I do for a living. That started out as a hobby, by the way, and became a profession. So, man, it would be amazing if I could make this a profession. But I got a long way to go. I was woodworking for a long time, but so now that's my full-time job, and this is my passion and my hobby. So um, again, man, let's get aggressive. Let's cut these things up. Make it work. You're not driving this car. People are going to comment, going, you shouldn't do that. You need to keep it factory stock. If you're not making it, how many times, I mean, even if you go to a model contest, you're not allowed to pick up the model. Now, yes, the judges probably will. I don't know. I've never been to one. My first show is actually coming up in Simpsonville, and I wanted to make sure I gave a shout out to the group on Facebook. They're going to be there, and you definitely want to come and see that show. I've got a flyer that's going to be coming to me, and I'll make sure to post that on my next video because, again, I'm doing this every 2 or 3 days. It's like a vlog for me. I need to talk to y'all, and hopefully you talk back. So put some comments in there. Give me some suggestions. I've got leather skin, man. So you can say anything. It's okay. I promise you. Suggestions or tips or something you want to see. There's something you want to see, I'll certainly try it. But it's fun. It's a hobby. And going back to the whole judge thing, if the judge picks it up and looks at it, I'm not putting these in competition. I don't think I'm good enough to put them in competition. Just seeing some of the other work out there, but it's going to be sitting on my shelf and it's getting passed down to my son, and I want to be able to look at it and say, "Wow, that's a pretty car." Half the time you see cars on the road, you don't climb under there and look at it. You have no idea what they did to make that car look like that. Now it's got to be drivable, so it's at least drivable, so something was done right. But again, it's just all about the art for me. And so have fun. Next video coming up, talking about that huge mistake that I made. You don't want to miss that one. You're going to want to see that one. I'm working on that right now. So like and subscribe, and let's keep on rolling.